Woo-wee, what's going on YouTube? It's Donnie B all day. So just yesterday, the day before today, past ago, I brought you 4 different drop point bushcraft knives that I like to EDC. So today I thought I would bring out 4 different knives that I actually like to EDC, that I do EDC, but skinners, straight up skinners that you can carry any single day. One is this little guy right here, the Desert Predator. Is that what this thing is called? Yeah, the Desert Predator by ABKT. This thing is a really good little knife. Like the Benchmade I brought you yesterday, it is really narrow, thin, lightweight, easy to carry, and it fits in the hand for a normal person. All of my knives that I carry must have that feature. But this thing, you can choke up on it. You can hold it in the true grip. It's just any way you want to grab it. This thing is good to go. It is a really, really nice knife. It is a really good cutting knife. And it is beautifully shaped. Now, I want to figure out which one is the longest blade, because they're all pretty... For skinners, you don't want a ginormous skinner. But I want to figure out what is blade length. Let's see. They should all be around 4, I think. So this one's about 4. This one is about 4 and a little bit more as far as cutting edge, anyway. This one is about 3 3/4, and then the other one should be about the same. Okay, so getting back into it, the ABKT, I don't know why I can't say that so good, comes with a Kydex sheath with an ambidextrous belt loop, and it is like removable and transferable and do all that. So it goes this way. So you get the Scout carry, boop, which is perfect for a small knife because it fits right there in any place on your belt line without protruding and sticking out all over the place. It's actually a really, really good carry. Snaps in there. Are you going to have some rattle? Maybe. But are we a bunch of ninja? No. So it really doesn't matter, right? That when you're walking, you don't walk like this, so that noise isn't going to pop out. Does that bother me? Absolutely not. Could I actually take some athletic tape and throw it literally right there on the inside and stop that from happening? Yeah. Do I care? No. Really good knife. So outside of that, we're going to talk about the classic. I'll put it back in the sheet so you can see it in its whole package. But the Schrade sharpfinger, old timer sharpfinger. A lot of people call them different ways, but it's the sharpfinger. But this is the large size. It's a little bit bigger, and I have to say it's awesome. I believe, I can't remember, but I think they did a steel. Let's see, I can't really see it because it's just, there's no color in it. But I think they, yeah, I don't know. It's hard to see backwards. But I believe they improved the steel on these. And they definitely improved the size. And I have to say that I love my old sharp fingers. But the bigger size, whew, this thing is, I mean, that direction right there. Look how the finger sits. That direction is perfect. There's none of this needing to happen. It's just perfect. They do such a really, really great job in the contouring of this knife. It is absolutely, it's almost as perfect as a Skinner can be. I have one that is, though. But this thing is just awesome. And as far as an EDC, having that really nice long swept clip point, you can get into things and really cut things. If you're cutting rope, or you'll see Scabber do these videos where you take zip ties on a stick. Having a blade like this really, really works itself into tight little spaces like that. Just a fantastic overall piece. And it's got that typical faux bone grip that they do, but for some reason, somehow it just works, man. This is a really, really good knife. As far as the sheath, classic pressed leather, real leather. It's so nice, man. It just, the color they use on the stain This is one of my favorites as far as knife sheath color, even though it doesn't always match what I wear, and I'm like that. I really, really love that. So next, we're getting into a Spyderco, and this is one that I had mixed feelings about because I'm not a big Spyderco fan, right? Mainly because Spyderco's make some pretty ugly knives. This one's not ugly. This one's actually pretty decent. It's thin in the blade, much thinner than I would normally like. It's got a great leather sheath on it. But this is the Bow River. And I have to say that even though it's a thin knife, this thing is a really good knife. Can you flex it? Yeah. Is that really good for skinning? Yeah, because it helps when you are pressing down on game to scrape a pelt. But this is a really good knife. It's a little small in the grip. I'm not going to lie, especially as it gets into here. But using it as a skinner, if I'm doing this or this, none of that matters because this is where you're holding a skinner. You're not holding it here. This is for cutting. That's what this grip is for. Hammer grip. But it still works no matter what, and it's still a nice carry. You know, I mean, I don't know if you can see all the little scratches on there. This thing does get used. But it's just one of those where I'll carry it every now and then when I need something just to throw on the side that where I don't care about the handle sticking out because the handle looks really good. You know what I mean? It's one of those where I don't have to worry about am I carrying a concealed knife because it hangs low. Even though it's not big, it just hangs low. But this thing is just a really good cutter. And remember, Spyderco, one of the best heat treats on the planet. You know, I broke down a whole thing on Peters and Boss and the best heat treats. Spyderco, top 3 heat treats on the planet. On the planet, as far as a company's heat treating, Spyderco's top 3 on the planet. SE tops, best differential heat treat in the world is tops. SE just the best heat treat, but Spyderco, they're right there, top 3 heat treat supremes. Speaking of heat treats, when you talk about single people or, you know, not knife companies themselves who do the best heat treats, well, Boss, best heat treat ever, best, just single best ever, and there's nobody even argues that. Yeah, okay, it's the best. It's just the best heat treat you can get. There's a number for this one. It's open season. I know it's that. Oh, 539. So this is the Buck 539 open season. This is probably in its class as far as a skinner of this style. This is the greatest ever made in the whole wide world. This knife is phenomenal. The sheath is an open top, right? So you get that. It just, so you can see that beautiful blade going through there. It's typical Buck quality in the leather. I mean, just awesome sheath. I do love smelling that leather. And they come in different varieties, and every year they do something different with the handles. This is my favorite year handle style. And it's my favorite as far as, I think this is what, S30V. Yeah, this is their best deal that they use. This was like the top of the line version of the 539 open season, and they have different versions, as in you can get ones that aren't Boss heat treated. You get ones that aren't this steel. You can get the ones that are the 420 HC, which is still great. But this is just like, it's the pinnacle. It was the top of the line. And I knew this is the one I wanted. And I needed to have the one with these cool little metal decorations on the grip. Why? Because I thought it looked great. After this, they came out with some kind of like a either gray or tan polymer or plasticky looking grip. Nowhere near as beautiful as, and this is 100% strikingly beautiful. But this by far, this is a thin blade as well. I think it's thicker than the Spyderco, but it's pretty thin. But this, oh, it does have a strap hole too. So like a camera style. This knife right here is freaking phenomenal. Phenomenal. So all of these are knives that I like to carry. All of these are knives worth carrying. Let's get a look at all of them together so you can get a good look at what's going on here. We'll see how I can do that. Sharpfinger is much bigger than people would assume. Oh! Spyderco sharp. Spyderco is sharp. So let's see if we can just two-hand it. This is difficult. All right, so 4 knives right there. You can see pretty much all of them are clippers. That one is the first. The Spyderco is more of a trailing point. The buck is more of a drop point where you have 2 clip points in the middle. But all of them are just good-looking knives. I mean, I say that about the Spyderco. It's a good-looking knife. But I have to say, knife for knife, there is almost nothing. There's almost nothing in this category, especially as good as that buck. It's just phenomenal. But if you were to have any single one of these, you would be extremely happy. Now, these two, I know, the 2 in the center, are budget priced. You can get these things dirt cheap, and they are abso-freaking-lutely worth it. The price on these 2, crazy. I don't remember entirely how much I spent, and when I say entirely, I mean I don't at all remember how much this guy is, but I know it wasn't as much as this one. This one was over 200, I believe. I think. I could be wrong, but this is a really, really good knife. This is a fantastic cutter. Let's get a look at the, yeah, you can see the buck is definitely thicker. But, I mean, when you're talking, I mean, come on, man. That thing is, what's that, 5 millimeters? That thing's a beast. That's not so bad. And then this guy, I think, is even thicker than the buck, or about the same. No, maybe, who knows? Maybe they're about the same. But if you're looking for a really thin skinner, this is a really great skinner. If you're looking for a skinner that you can EDC, you might not like it being that thin, but it cuts like a dream. So there's really, I can't see, as an EDC, I can't see where the narrowness of this blade would cause a problem. It's not your bushcrafting knife. It would be an EDC, like, so you pull it out and you cut some ropes and you cut a rubber hose to fix your car, and you cut your boxes and you cut open an envelope. That's what an EDC is. Oh, we got to peel an apple. All right, here you go. That's what your EDC is. It's just normal everyday tasks. It's not stuff out of the ordinary, and it's not stuff that's gonna be a knife killer, right? But this is a really, really good knife. If you want just a great, budget EDC skinner, either one of these would be great. And I know this is probably, of all of them, less of a true skinner than the rest, but it's still a really good skinning knife. It's pretty much what this knife is. I think it's more of like a all-purpose, closer to bushcraft knife, but I put it in the skinner category. That's where I put it. So it depends. If you wanted something like this, are you looking for thick or are you looking for thin? Are you looking for something to fill the hand, really fill the hand? Or are you looking for something to be completely tucked away? This thing would ride great in a pocket. So literally it comes down to that. And when I say great in a pocket, you could take this off and all you have is that taco sheath. Boom, that'll fit right in a pocket all day long. All day long, that'll be great. But for me, I don't know why, I just have a love for these. Ever since I was in junior high school, this knife, it was smaller, just spoke to me always. Always freaking loved it. Always freaking loved it. But a great choice. But if you want like ultimate, you know, ultimate knife search, I see you over there. This thing, it's so hard to find a knife better than this one at this size for this purpose, this range. This knife is just freaking amazing. And if you've never picked one up, and if you've never held one, and if you've never used one, never cut with one, I suggest that, man, you find somebody next door who or one of the shops near you that actually sells something like this, and go check it out. I think, and I might be wrong, but you might be able to find these at like Bass Pro Shops, Cabela's type places. And if you get a chance to wrap your hands around one, even though it might be a different configuration in the handle, it's still going to be the same size and shape and weight and all that jazz. Get yourself over to just pick one up and check it out. It's a really, really great quality knife. And this is something I love to carry. As a matter of fact, today I am carrying the O-Knife Beagle. Is that what this is? I don't even know. Yeah, the O-Knife Beagle. I was thinking about doing what I did on the other knife and grinding down that harpoon tip. I might do that. But this is what I'm carrying. Super good little knife. But I think I'm going to double it up with this guy today. And this is going to be my day's carry. So that's it for this one. Get yourself a good knife. Enjoy yourself a good knife. Have a good life. I am Donnie B all day. Until next video.